Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. We are here on the edges of JBPG City, just kind of watching the air traffic fly into the airport and the docks. I do like to just do a little bit of city watching from time to time, just watch the traffic and watch goods coming in and out of the docks and watch the airports. I've been doing a little bit of expansion work in the downtime between episodes. So what I've done is I've added the framework for an extension. Well, I say an extension, a separate little district here on the side. We've got our new area over here, Grizzly Adams Heights, which is now pretty much set up. I've added in a cemetery there because there wasn't any kind of death care service over here at all. And then just round the corner from that, I've put in a crematorium. And then I've just put in a little connecting road across here, as you can see, and set up this new district here, again with the schools out policy to create a strong workforce so that we can try and expand Knapp's Farm and make that a little bit bigger. Obviously we're going to need workers to be able to do that, so that's what this area is for here. And you can see I've also linked a second access point for the farm just there as well to try and help alleviate the traffic a little bit. I don't want to have the massive farm industry just here and then just have all of that traffic just dominating through here and clogging up the roundabout. So having a secondary access point there helps. And then to try and ease the traffic on this junction a little bit, what I also did was put in just a little slip road just there, because I was watching and I was noticing a lot of the traffic was going up to here, there, and then immediately turning and going back down the down ramp. So that just made sense. It just takes a lot of the pressure off the actual junction on the interchange just there by putting a little connecting slip road and then widening that to a 2-lane slip road instead of a 1-lane, because we've now got 2 lanes of traffic filtering into it at that point. And it works pretty well. It's completely alleviated all the pressure that was on this junction here. I was getting queues that were coming up to about here, going down towards the junction, and they're gone completely just with that little slip road. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've also made a couple of tiny little minor tweaks. So I've just added in an extra little block of industry just here that wasn't there. Just that little line. That's been added in. What else have I done? I think I've done something else. Oh, yes. Over here, what I've also done is, again, to try and help alleviate traffic a little bit, I've also added in this road here, which connects up to our main sort of route into the industry this way. So I've added in this little freeway ramp here, as in 2-directional freeway, just because it's faster and might encourage a bit more traffic that wants to use this section of industry to go in and come out this way if it's, you know, heading that direction. It still doesn't really have an impact over here. I mean, that's still as it was. You know, you get a little bit of queues at the traffic lights, but it keeps on moving. So nothing really has changed over there. And then all I did over here as well was, because we already had the police helicopter depot and a fire helicopter depot, I just figured I'd add in a medical depot there as well, just in case, you know, we do have some kind of medical problems and we can quickly dispatch helicopters to help out with that. So our city is pretty much at a point where we could walk away, but there are still a few little things that I want to do before we finish this playlist off. So there is still going to be a little bit more to do. First thing I want to do is I want to actually get our docks activated. So we'll be coming back and we'll be activating the docks pretty soon, and then putting something, not much, but something in this little area here. So we might need to change our road network here a little bit. Once that happens, it might throw in some additional traffic that could potentially be problematic for us. One thing else I also want to do, and that's what we're going to do once we've got Park Heights up and running, is we're going to rework this area just a little bit. We're going to just terraform out a little bit and put a station here, because we have this external connection here, and all that does is it runs in here and it runs all the way over to Little Canada, and that's the only thing that uses that left-hand platform is the external train. Nothing else uses it. So I figure what we can do is we can run a line that comes out this way, follow this along here, and then when we get to this kind of corner here, we can bring a branch off, go over the freeway, climb up, and then arrive here on a station just on the edge of Grizzly Adams Heights, and then that can also then connect to the external connection that way. And it just utilises that extra platform that really isn't doing that much for us, and provides another transport link, as I say, between Little Canada and Grizzly Adams Heights. It just means that anyone over here has got a much quicker route and a much less, a much more hassle-free route of being able to get to the airport if they ever want to go off and fly somewhere. Speaking of the airport, our football team has lost its first game. Boo. Not happy about that. But yeah, it's not a perfect record, but you can see there we've won 4, we've lost 2. But we're still doing okay. We're still doing all right. So we're still, with a better than 50% win ratio. That's the important thing. There's no leagues to play in as such. There's no, again, we've got this weird goings on where the water just suddenly stops flowing for a bit and then carries on again. It's almost like the parting of the Red Sea down here, isn't it? Very, very strange. Yeah, we don't have any kind of leagues. It's there again, look, see? Very, very weird. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it just kind of, the water just stops flowing for some reason and then starts again. Look how high these are up on stilts. Seeing as the water level has dropped so substantially. It'll start waving through again, but it's all very erratic at the moment. I'm wondering if maybe the pumping stations are affecting it and taking large volumes of water away, which lowers the volume here. I don't know. But yeah, we don't have, as I say, we don't have like any leagues to place in with our football team. So my only target is for our team to just have a better than 50% win ratio. That's all we can do, really. You can see I'm emptying out my garbage dumps over here as well. This one has 8% left, so we're almost ready to switch those back on. But let's go ahead and start putting in some stuff over here. So we need pipes to kind of add water for this facility. So we start about there. That's a bit too much. Let's go across a bit more. There we go. And same again over here. Let's take that down a bit more. Take that across. Might as well connect that there as well. And then we just need a bit down here as well. So I think the easiest thing to do for this is just going to be to drop in, put in some little droppers like that. There we go, and that square shouldn't be an issue. So there we go, we have water in this area. Let's start dropping in some bits and bobs that we're going to need. So we're going to need a little local police station. Let's plonk that on the corner. We're going to need a local fire station. We're going to need a small medical centre. And then, just to help out, we'll stick a crematorium there as well. Again, my macabre sense of humour there. If you don't check out, if you don't get what you need there, you can always get what you need just there. No power as yet, because we need to obviously, get stuff zoned in. We're going to need some education stuff as well. So let's put in a primary school just there. And we'll put in a high school on the opposite side. Will it let us? No, slope is too steep. Okay, let's try switching them over. Let's see if it'll do that. So we put that one there. Put it right on the corner, and maybe we can squeeze a park on the end, or no, I'll do that there. Yes, we can get the high school there. Excellent stuff. Now let's go for our little playground. Perfect. We're going to want a little bit extra, just sort of spotted around in here. Seeing if I can find a good spot for a park. It's very, very steep slopes, as you can see, so a lot of these larger tiles just don't want to place. So finding the right spot where they will place but don't dominate the area is tricky. That should do just there. It's not too bad. Let's add in a little bit of zoning now. So we want some low density commercial. I kind of like the idea of having the commercial down here like this. Doesn't want to be too much. This is mainly going to be a workforce area for the farm, so I don't want to create too many jobs in this area itself, because then it takes away from the potential workforce to go off to the farm. So let's go to a medium tool and start painting in these houses around here. And I don't want to go too far up the road either. There we go. I think that should do that. Whiz across here. Again, I don't want to go too far towards the farm. Paint all that in. Paint all that in. I think that'll do. I've already given this district, as I say, the schools out policy, so I don't have to worry about applying that policy. It's already there. And let's just see if we can put in a temporary power line. Just to kickstart this area. There we go. So it just needs something to spawn in this bit here. There we go. And that's connected everything up straight away. So that'll get rid of those power issues. What it should do. Why is that not connecting? Let's try repositioning that slightly. Right, it's definitely in there. Why is that counting as a non-connection? It's in the zone. It's wide up. Speed time up. We're producing twice as much power as we need. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it's finally going. Now that something's built here and it's expanded it around a little bit, we've finally got that connected. So Park Heights is now connected up. So let's start working on adding in our station. So I want to kind of come off here, I think. Let's try and get a slightly lower height. Just stretch this out a little bit. And we're out of soil. Is that going to be enough? I wonder. I can always get some more soil if I need it, but... Alright, can we get the station on the edge there? Railway. Where is railway? There it is. That's a cargo train terminal. Oh, there we go, train station. So I'd have to remove... Yeah, it needs to go back a little bit more. So we need a little bit more soil. Okay, so where can we take that from? I suppose over here. Well, what I can also do is we can start looking at smoothing out some of this area over here. I don't think we're going to be building over here anymore, so let's increase the strength of this to smooth this out a little bit where we can. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more soil to be able to do that. Just need little bits at the moment. Try and reduce the severity of some of these angles a little bit. That's quite sharp actually because of the yeah, well, we'll leave it like that, I suppose. I think I'm going to have to just attack these hills over here. So let's go with this tool here, start just eating into the hill a little bit. There we go, and again I don't want it too severe. And we can smooth that back out again a bit later. That gives us more than enough soil. Okay, so lower the strength. Go back to leveling. Let's come back to our area over here. Just gradually stretch this out a little bit more. Alright, hopefully that'll be enough. Yes, there we go. That's going to demolish the house, isn't it? Okay, so we'll just place that just there, like so. And what I think we could probably also do, again, I doubt we're going to need it, but we can put in a taxi rank just there, on the opposite side of the station, because we've only got, you know, a little bit of space on that side of the street, and that's fine. I don't want a large over-the-top space there. So, we need to build our track now. This is where it's going to get a little bit trickier, because that's quite a high slope, as you can see. And I don't know how high I can actually get this. That's insanely high. I think what might be a better option, actually, just take that out, take that bit of road out. What might be a better option for us, so that we can make that slope more gradual, would be to have the station here instead, along here, and then ease it out this way where there's less of a slope. And then we can then loop it across that way as the gradient is brought down gradually. So let's put the station there. There we go. Track, that's what I need next. So we're going to gradually start to bring this down. Like so. And it looks pretty steep and pretty high at the moment. Still actually, it's wonky as well. Straight for now. That's too steep. Needs to go higher. A gradual decline like that. Going to freeform this a bit now. Just trying to build a separate route. There we go, connect up. That's better. Again, we want to continue to bring that slope down a bit. It needs to go down even more because it's actually going up a gradient on the opposite side. There we go. And what we can do is it looks very, very tall and very, very high, but we can actually push this district back out a little bit and raise the ground underneath this to actually reduce how high that is. So I'll show you what I mean by that. We select a lower point just there and smooth and level the terrain out. You can see it brings the ground up underneath the pillars. And all of a sudden that ridiculously high gap that we have there is no longer a ridiculously high gap. It's much, much lower to the ground. Much, much more realistic. Like that. Let's just get another higher point set so we can try and build a slope on that. And there we go. All of a sudden a much more controlled approach. We can actually take that out, because by now we should be pretty much on ground level. Like that. And again, we can gradually bring that down. That's an unfortunate little bump that we have just there. We need to smooth that out a bit. There we go. That should sit a bit better now. Yeah, still trying to put in a razor. I don't want a razor. Not too much of a drop. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. There we go. That's much better, much more controlled. And again, now we need to look at bringing it across the freeway. So again, we want to just start smoothing. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Just start smoothing this terrain out a bit more. I'm going to run out of soil again in a moment. And create our crossing over the freeway. Still a little too high. Ooh, no, that's not good at all. It's tricky when you're trying to build these kind of sloped angles. Again, this is where the PC has a much better advantage over the console in being able to individually tweak things once they've been placed. We can't do that, unfortunately. We have to kind of work within the limitations of the terraforming as it is. There we go. Now we can start to bring this down again. That actually goes up a little raise there, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. That works there. Yeah, we have to work within the limitations of terraforming the ground first, placing what we want, and then if it doesn't look or sit quite right, we then have to delete everything and start again and tweak everything. PC, once it's placed, you can then go in and you can tweak things and you can modify things, and just makes the placement of stuff a lot easier. Bring this down a bit more. There we go. So we have our connection there. So we can now start getting external trains into this station, and we can also now put in a connecting service running from here over to Little Canada. So let's start there. And there we go. This is the line here. Put a train on that platform there. Oh, we've got a train coming in already, look, from the external connection over there. And then bring that back over here. And there we go. We have a brand new city connection. So you can see it looks a little bit rough as it goes over there. It's not too bad. Generally, we've tried to smooth it as best we can. And then it just rejoins that sweeping line that runs out there. There's one of our external trains. Actually, I want to see if is that going to... No, I didn't think it would. But we have the ability now for these external trains, as I say, to go all the way to Little Canada as they have been doing, but also to branch off here and sweep up the hill and into Grizzly Adams Heights just there. So we're going to need more soil so we can just kind of tidy that area up a bit. So let's start attacking this area. Pulling in some of that extra soil, making that cliff face a little bit steeper. And then attacking this area a bit. Again, we can try and add in some steeper areas around here. Bring this height down a bit more. I could do this with a stronger strength to increase how fast we do that, but because I want to keep this reasonably controlled, that's why I'm doing it at this speed and not increasing the strength, because that way I'm not making huge massive deformations in the terrain that then take a lot of fixing. You know, these small alterations like this take a little bit longer, but when I come to smooth everything out, there's a lot less repair work that needs to be done. There we go. So now we can start to smooth out this area. So let me extend this out a bit around the back of the station. In fact, we could even do that completely. Really lower that track down, and we may well, you know, remove some of that track and replace it so that it's no longer a bridge, but it's just a straight piece of track running in a kind of a valley kind of thing. That's something we can look at doing. And this also gives me a load of extra space to build around here, as you can see. So we can just extend the back of this district slightly. Maybe add in a few extra people if we need to. Again, depends on how the farm works. Let's try and just raise the height a little bit more around the edge. I'm going to go to a slightly smaller tool. Just so these rough cliff bits here are smoothed out. And it's not quite so severe. There we go. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. We'll leave that like that for now. I can always come back and I can tidy that up a little bit later if I need to. How are we doing over here? This area's popped in quite nicely. You can see we do have a little bit of a shortage of workers just for this building. 4 jobs available. 1 job available. Okay, again, we've got to wait for some of these people to go through the education system before they can then start working for us. But, yeah, we've got a nice little set of houses over there in Park Heights. Let's try dropping in a little bit more farmland. So let's drop another block in just there. And then eventually we can start looking at bringing in this block and this block here as well. See, there's quite a few workers there, look. Let's... I'll say I can hear fire engines. There we are. Someone set the cows on fire. The swines. Let's build a footbridge. If we can. For our workers. Or a pathway of sorts. Might have to actually take out one of these houses to do it. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Are they going to cross over? Doesn't look like it. I wonder, can I actually make a bridge with a dirt road like this? I don't think I probably can I? No. I'm beginning anyone using that. Oh, I've got someone cycling up there. They're brave. That's quite severe. Because of the angle. Look at that. That's yeah, that's a bit weird. We need to smooth that terrain out. That's quite laughable. In fact, I'm actually going to do this as a proper footpath, I think. So let's take this back out. I'm going to pause so nothing gets built back in this place. Build something as a more gradual slope, I think. Might look a bit better. Let's try that. It looks a bit better, and hopefully will work a little bit better. Let's also throw in a path along here, like so, to try and take them away from that junction. Let's Watch where these guys go. So we're getting a couple of people crossing over, and they're using our footpath. The rest of them are walking that way. Let's maybe see if we can bring a footpath down over here as well. There we go. I don't know if that's going to do anything. You can see we are struggling a little bit for workers, and that's the area we're trying to get people into. So again, having a footpath there should hopefully help deal with that situation a little bit better. We're seeing more people starting to use this now. Now that more people are becoming aware of that. Are we getting anyone using this one yet? Someone's braving it with the bicycle. There they go. So that block will take a little while to settle down, and we need to get this district perhaps to level up a little bit more as well. Can I pop in another little mini attraction somewhere? How about a dog park somewhere over here? Like it on that corner if I can. Can I move that slightly? It doesn't want to go all the way across to the edge. Look, oh, there we go. That's got it. That's where I wanted it. So let's look at repairing the zoning damage. We've got a space for a block there. That's okay. Yeah, but that'll help level up some of these houses a little bit better, because they've now got a leisure activity on their doorstep, effectively. So that'll boost the population slightly. There we go, Park Heights coming along quite nicely. We've got our connection there as well, our train connection. Are we getting many people using it? There's a fair few people waiting, look. And a lot of people coming in as well. I was wondering how many of these might be tourists, but I haven't seen a single tourist train come up this way yet. And as I say that, I think one's pulling up now. Yeah, here comes a tourist train. No tourist trains, and then instantly we get a tourist train. They're bringing a lot of people in, but not many people departing on it. So there you can see the bulk of people that are using the train are actual residents of this area. Right, they're parking on the roads. Let's get them into the car parks. Let's upgrade our street. Like that. We'll do this. Oh, that's cycle paths. There we go. And that's going to start getting the cars into the station there, as you can see. We'll do the same there, and then any car parks on these buildings should start getting filled. Or they might even start parking at the station, you never know. Look at that, we're getting a large number of people starting to use our station now. Look how many are walking down here. So this was definitely the right choice to do. You can see just immediately by how many people are actually getting on and off this train. That was definitely the right call to add a connection there. I do want to kind of tidy up this this line a little bit over here, but I'll do that probably off camera between episodes. Let's see, got a cemetery that's full. Let's empty that. I need to stop emptying over here at Vinny Heights. Get those trucks back out and working again. Anything else that needs attention over here? You can see is our blimps working away quite nicely. Yep, there's something over here. Another cemetery. And another one over here. Any more for any more? That one's already emptying. I think we're good. Alright, so let's start looking at this area over here. Now, as I said, I want to get this switched on and start bringing people in. Let's put in a little bit of hotel stuff, I think, for the airport. So, I'm going to want standard 2-lane roads to start with. Some waterfront property. I want a big park somewhere over here. Bring that down there. Like that. Parks. I want the big one. Okay, so that goes there. That takes up that much space. Let's flip it. Does it take up any different space that way? A little bit less. How many blocks? How many blocks is that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need a 12 block gap to have one on the other side as well. This could be tricky. Is that enough? I don't think it is. No, it's not. Okay, we can fix that. We can take that out. Push that out a little bit further. Run it along there instead. This is where spacing's going to get a little bit awkward. We do have a height difference there. That should be okay. I need to relocate this park. To there. And then put another one in. I'm actually 2 squares too far across. Interesting. So let's rework this bit of street. I'm also going to... No, I'm not going to rework the terrain. So I need to come in 2 squares. So basically I need to have a road that runs along here at this point. That's good, because that still gives me the opportunity to put some waterfront in there. So that should give me space to put another park. Oh, what am I? 1 square too much. That's frustrating. Okay, let's try that again. I want to move across 1 block. There we go. That's not 1 block, is it? There we go. So, it should fit now in that spot. It will, and there we go. So we have our large park just here. That's what I wanted, a nice little centerpiece down here. Let's take that bit of road out. That bit of road out. This is where it's going to get tricky trying to get everything connected. A little curved piece in like that instead. go. Run that down there. Barrier around the park. Excellent stuff. So, let's zone this. So again, I'm going to get nice and square against the outline of the road there with my display box. That allows me to draw a nice straight line going across. And then straight up. There we go. We have our passenger docks with a nice little area over here with a couple of parks, and we can try and drop in some hotels around here as well. So the reason I zone that is so that I can change the specialization. And is it tourist, or I think it's tourism that I want. Let's drop in some high density. Just there. I'm going to drop in some low density on the side. And see what spawns up in that area. And now we need to obviously make sure we have water in here as well. Go, and I need to connect this to a water source. I'll have a nice little self-contained pumping area over here, I think. Using clean river water. And then we'll have a little outflow fit on the end. Not quite. I squeeze it on the edge. It's so fiddly. It's trying to snap to things that I want it to. There we go. It's trying to snap to the piping. So I need to take this bit of piping out first of all. I'm going to pause while I do that, so we don't destroy the area. It's not the piping it's trying to snap to, it's that little bit of clear ground there. Okay. See, I can get it here. I was hoping I could actually get it next to the dock. It doesn't want to go. So instead, yeah, I suppose get it where we can. Ah, this is fiddly. Really fiddly. There we go. Let's put the pipes back in. Hopefully we're not going to draw from polluted areas. We might have to move that a little bit, just to be on the safe side. Let's plonk it there. Of course, I'm going to need to make sure that I have power into that area now, so let's put a pylon there. Trying to get a power line going across here. The gap's just that little bit too big. here. Yes, there I can do it. Run that down the side. Actually, no, it needs to go higher. So it can go over the bridge like that and sneak down there. That should hopefully supply power. Yep, excellent stuff. And our water's being supplied, excellent. We can see some of those buildings starting to pop in. Mixture of high density and low density. Couple of hotels. Let's get this turned on. There we go. Let's also put in some policies here. Because of the traffic, it's going to be quite tough getting emergency vehicles in and out of here. So if we go to districts and we go to district policies, what we can do is we can turn on where is it? Helicopter priority. So if there are any emergencies on areas with this policy on, the service will always use helicopters instead of ground vehicles. So if we have crime problems, we'll get police helicopters. Fire, then we'll get fire choppers, and obviously if there's an emergency health-wise, we'll get medical helicopters popping in as well. What else can we do to make this area nice and pretty? Let's turn off encourage biking in there. We want lightning rods. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So, Green Hills is up and running. Oh yes, that was the other thing I did over here. I remember now. I slightly increased the size of Charles Heights industrial area to incorporate the new stuff that hadn't been zoned in. So that's now a larger industrial area over here, as you can see. It's all one linked area as opposed to an area that's drawn and an area that's not drawn at all. So it's that time of day, time for us to add in district names for subscriber districts, and I'm going to do something a little bit different on this particular episode. I'm going to put 2 districts in for one person. So this is for KJ Wiggums, who's one of my oldest subscribers, and has requested a district with the name Johnson Vaughan for his children. And so what I've decided to do is have 2 separate districts, one with each name. And we're going to go for the ones that are right next to each other here. So this is going to be Johnson Hills. There we go. And then this is going to be Vaughan Heights. There we go. So, there we go. For KJ Wiggums, we have Johnson Hills and Vaughan Heights. So, there we go. That's our subscriber name addition for this week. I do still have a couple of others left on the list, and hopefully we'll get those sort of put out in the next couple of episodes. I can always, put a whole batch of them out if we get to the point where we have, no episodes left and still requests pending. But we'll get all those requests processed. I am no longer accepting any new requests. So if you haven't already got your request in by now, sorry, it's a little too late. I will no longer be accepting those requests. Right, that is it for me today. Thank you for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of City Skylines Mass Transit here on JBPG City very soon.